what topic to choose to research? This is the question that I have been asking myself for 6 months. Finally, after talking to my parents after the recent 2018 Mexican Formula One Grand Prix, I realised that motor racing should be my topic. Therefore, the next obvious question was, what aspect of racing? With several subjects suggested to me, I finally picked rivalries of the Formula One world. I wanted to learn about some of the rivalries that have occurred during the last 50 years of the competition. Niki Lauda versus James Hunt in the 1970s, Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna in the late 80s and early 90s, and hopefully the various rivalries of the current era. This was my topic to begin with, and this is what I spent hours trying to research. The first question I wanted to answer was, what is the definition of a rival or rivalry? This was easy to find the answer to. According to the Oxford Dictionary, a rival is a person or thing competing with another for the same objective or for superiority in the same field of activity, or a person or thing that equals another in quality. Could this be a better description of those competing for the Grand Prix of motor racing? Now, before I go further, I should explain that I am currently living on a farm in the Okanagan Valley, 30 minutes from the nearest large town. There is a small farming community near it. It's about the size of Dunsandel, and I'm 45 minutes from the nearest city. And the Okanagan is roughly the size of Otago. Due to this, I started my research online, and every one of the websites that were suggested by Google were booksellers selling books about the topics I was searching for. Okay, I thought, some of these books are available as ebooks. I could borrow them from my online library account and read them that way. No, every book that I searched for in the library databases that I have access to were not available as ebooks. Alright, I was not defeated yet. I have multiple e-reading applications on my computer and phone. I could buy them. I'm sure I'd want to read them more than once. No, I could not do that either. Every book was upwards of 15 Canadian dollars, about 18 New Zealand dollars each, and there was a lot of books to look at. Well, I knew the name of the books, so why not try the Okanagan Regional Library? Finally, a result! They had 2 copies of one of the books I wanted. So I looked on the map to see where the libraries were. One was 120 kilometres south of me, and the other 110 kilometres north. So that wasn't going to work either. At this point, I decided to change my topic to New Zealand Formula One drivers. Not just Bruce McLaren, Denny Hulme, Chris Amon, but also Tony Shelley, Howden Ganley, Graham McRae, John Nicholson, Mike Thackwell, and of course the current Brendan Hartley. Here I had more luck. I started by looking at an article on Wikipedia, and knowing that this source was not credible, but that any references that were listed might be, I looked at the references. Now I was getting somewhere. Here I found references to profiles of each of the drivers that I was looking for. The only problem was that they were all just a summary. Here is the profile of Bruce McLaren, probably New Zealand's most famous racing driver, as well as being the founder of the McLaren racing team and car company. I am quoting from an article on espn.co.uk, reproduced from the Ultimate Encyclopedia of Formula One, published by Carlton Books. Bruce McLaren, a talented driver and the man who established what is now the second most successful Grand Prix team of all time. He arrived on the Formula One scene in 1959 with a series of assured performances with Cooper before winning the final race of the year. After winning the first Grand Prix of 1960, McLaren slipped into a supporting role to reigning champion Jack Brabham, eventually becoming team leader in 1961 when Brabham left. However, after several frustrating seasons, which had been briefly enlivened by winning the 1962 Monaco Grand Prix, Bruce formed his own team in 1964. In partnership with abrasive American Teddy Mayer, the tolerant, popular McLaren built his company into a successful professional outfit with a reputation for technical excellence. In 1968, he enticed his friend Denny Hulme, the reigning world champion, to join him, and while Hulme set the pace in Formula One, McLaren's dominated the American Can-Am sports car series for the rest of the decade. Bruce continued to race in Formula One and occasionally shone, winning the 1968 Belgian Grand Prix and dominating the Race of Champions the same year. As his team had a reputation for consistency and safety, it was ironic that he should die while testing one of his Can-Am cars at Goodwood in 1970. And this is all I could find. 4 paragraphs about this world-famous New Zealander. Books again were not available because they were either very expensive or not available in the library. Therefore, I present to you a speech about the research that I have done on the rivalries of Formula One and the drivers who have raced with the New Zealand flag on their car in the World Championship of Motor Racing. But I have almost no information that I can impart to you because I was unable to find it. It was not that the information is not available, as the handouts you have been given show. These are all books and websites that, if you are interested, have a history of Formula One, profiles of Formula One drivers, and of some of the greatest rivalries of some of the world's best drivers. I was just unable to read them and present the information they possess. Thank you.